Chapter 2. The first rays of morning had just begun to emerge from behind the mountains. After traveling all night, Dune had finally reached the outskirts of his village. The exhaustion was clearly visible beneath his eyes. His clothes were completely drenched. The bicycle wasn't in much better condition either. But the child wrapped in his arms was sleeping peacefully, as if nothing had happened the night before. Dune looked at his village from a distance. Hometown. That was the name of the village. A small village nestled among the mountains. Houses made of wood and stone. Flowers blooming in front of every home. Children's voices echoing through every street. Warmth and familiarity on every face. The village was poor, certainly, but it was happy. A faint smile appeared on Dune's face. "Come on, little one. We're home." At the village entrance, a few elderly men were sitting together, drinking tea. As soon as they saw Dune, all eyes turned toward him. "Dune is back. Where were you all night? Looks like the storm did a number on you." But then their attention shifted to the child. Suddenly, everyone fell silent. One of the old men frowned. "Dune, whose child is this?" Dune remained silent for a few seconds. The events of the previous night were still fresh in his mind. The bodies, the cave, and those blue eyes. Finally, he spoke. "He's mine now." The men exchanged puzzled glances. "What do you mean?" Dune simply replied, "It's a long story. I'll tell you later." Then he continued walking toward his home. Dune's house stood at the edge of the village. A small house with 2 rooms, wooden walls, a red roof, a small apple tree in front of the house, and beneath that tree, a little boy was playing with a wooden sword. His name was Danush, but everyone in the village called him Dan. Dan was around 5 years old, thick black hair, large bright eyes, and enough energy to keep the entire village busy. As soon as he saw Dune, "Papa," he ran toward him, but then he suddenly stopped. His eyes had fallen on the child. Dan looked confused. "Papa, who is that?" Dune smiled. "Honestly, I don't know either." Dan looked even more confused. "Then why did you bring him home?" Dune gently held the child toward him. "Because he's going to live with us now." Dan's eyes widened. "Forever?" "Yes. Will he be my friend?" Dune laughed. "Not a friend. Maybe a brother." Dan carefully looked at the baby. For the first time, he noticed those blue eyes. Without thinking, he said, "His eyes look like the sky." The child looked at him and smiled softly. Dan immediately became excited. "Papa, he likes me." That day, the entire village came to see the new child. Some brought milk, some brought clothes, others brought toys. Everyone was fascinated by the child. No one had ever seen eyes that blue before. One elderly woman quietly whispered, "This is no ordinary child." But nobody paid attention to her words. Evening arrived. A wooden stove burned warmly inside the house. The room felt cozy and comfortable. Dan sat on the floor, showing his toys to the baby. Dune sat nearby, watching the two of them. A strange sense of peace filled his heart. For the first time in many years, for the first time since his wife's death, his house finally felt like a home again. Dune looked at the child and said softly, "What should we name you?" Dan instantly jumped to his feet. "Yes, a name. Let's call him Superman." Dune laughed. "Absolutely not." "Batman? No. Iron Man? No." Dan puffed out his cheeks in disappointment. Dune fell into thought. His eyes drifted toward the baby's eyes. Deep blue, strange and beautiful, as if an entire ocean was hidden inside them. Without thinking, a name slipped from his lips. Neil. The room fell silent. Even Dune seemed surprised. He had never thought of that name before. He didn't know why, but somehow it felt right, as if the name had not come from him, as if someone else had spoken it through him. Dan smiled brightly. "Neil, I like it." "Hello, Neil." The baby laughed softly. For the first time, he reached out and wrapped his tiny hand around Dan's finger. Dan jumped with excitement. "See, he likes it too." Dune watched them both with a smile, but he had absolutely no idea that one day, the child he had named Neil would become a name written into the history of the entire world. And that night, while everyone slept peacefully, Neil lay in his tiny bed, staring at the ceiling. A faint glow flashed within his blue eyes. Only for a second. Then everything returned to normal. No one saw it. No one knew. But somewhere, very far away, someone felt it. Someone realized that the child was alive, and no longer alone. Chapter 2 end. Like and subscribe to the channel, a new chapter every week.